Hey guys, JB here from Alpha Wolf Consulting, coming in today with the next session in the Alpha Wolf Personal Development and Expansion series. So, this session's going to be all about understanding this embodiment of frequency. So, how do I embody the frequency of the truth that I speak and what I desire in life? And it's very important to understand this, as it was pointed out to me recently, as being sort of one of the missing keys, because essentially we are aligning the different aspects or formations of me, the physical manifestation of me, the intellectual or mental manifestation to me, or psychological, the energetic or emotional sort of state of me, and then the spiritual, my connection to other. So do you sort of start to see it's about in every moment, every action, every decision, every conversation, how you communicate. It's about trying to align to those frequencies, those different frequencies. Do you sort of get it? Like I might want to communicate in peace, but leave a presence of love. So I'm trying to connect in with two different energetic states, peace and love. So it's this understanding that when I speak, I do not speak to control the conversation. I speak to see the flow of the conversation and to allow that flow to happen and to sort of try and align to that flow. Do you sort of get it? So, like, for example, if I want to be the best version of myself, then what I have to do is align to the energetic flow of who that person is to me. Do you sort of get it? It becomes easier for me to embody who I am when I understand who I am to me. So it's this alignment of self, this alignment of instead of seeing the separation between the mental and the energetic, the mental or the psychological is a form of the energetic. It is a contributing factor, but also like what happens in our energetic state affects our psychological state. What happens in our psychological state affects our energetic state. The symbiotic relationship or symbiosis. I don't know the word, but basically the symbiotic relationship between my thoughts, my beliefs, my actions, my behaviors, my emotions, how I feel. So if we think about it like this, if we were to close our eyes and try and imagine like connecting to my truth. So when I'm trying to connect to my truth, I am trying to grasp a mental plane of truth, an energetic or emotional plane of truth, and a spiritual plane of truth. Do you sort of understand? I'm trying to align them so that should I speak love, I am not sowing chaos into the environment with subconscious language or in my language. So should I seek creation in life, I forgo destruction. While destruction is needed, like not so much to protect ourselves, but for example, if someone doesn't respect your boundaries, you have to implement harsh boundaries. Do you know what I mean? Because like destruction is a form of creation. So in destruction, like you create a new by destroying the potential of the old. So it's like we don't want to sit in a destructive state. Even though a destructive state is not a negative state, we want to sit in a state of creation. Because if there is no need for destruction, creation should always be the ideal. So if we think about that as being an energetic flow that we are trying to connect with in all we do, the creation aspect of it, we are connecting in with the language and the tonalities of creation. We are You know what I mean? And how we see creation is typically creation is more feminine. Do you know what I mean? Because women give birth. So while there's masculine aspects of creation, when we're talking about trying to connect in with like the energetic flow of creation, it will typically be more like feminine. So not effeminate, but feminine. So it just means it's a form of energy. It's where in creation, like for example, the feminine gives more than receives. Like it's all giving. Do you sort of get it? When I want to create my dream self in life, I have to go through the process of giving myself the dream person, of becoming, of embodying. So we can embody in our actions and our behaviors and all of that, but then we have to embody in our energetic state, our emotional state, our heart space, because our heart space is part of how we manifest and how we attract and draw things to us. So it's the biochemical responses that alter and shape our heart, either into states of creation or states of destruction, into states of inspiration or states of fear. So we start to see if I want a state of creation, it's a state of inspiration. So I should always seek to see inspiration in everything that is presented to me, to be in creation. In destruction, it is not inspiration. Do you sort of get it? I lack the ability to see inspiration in anything. That is why it must be destroyed. So it's an important understanding that when we are able to understand this like element of it, because we're think of it but like layers, all right? And this is layer one, that I want my language to be language of creation. I want my tonalities to be tonalities of creation. I want my thoughts and behaviors, sorry, and internal narratives to be ones of creation. This is the base frequency. And then we're going to add additional finite frequencies, or like highly refined frequencies, or you could think of it as being specialized. Because when I'm talking about acts or like getting into this state of creation, like this is creation all. In the good, the bad, and the ugly, I seek creation. Now I can have like on top of that a frequency of certain create, like certain environments creation doesn't exist, I cannot create, i.e. if people are, disrespecting me, or acting negatively, or sort of trying to sow chaos into my life, well, it's sort of like if I stay in that, it's more detrimental to if I eject from that. So we start to see, even though I could stay in that and try and like create out of it, it is a highly destructive place, because one party is choosing creation, the other party is choosing destruction. If one party doesn't create, destruction is all there is. Do you sort of get it? So that's sort of a relational bond, or bond within oneself, okay, within one's like relationship to self. Do you sort of get it? So when I'm aligning to creation, I'm aligning to, I only take actions of creation that create me, not actions that destroy me. Do you sort of get it? So it's like a base level. And then we can add on top of that more refined, or more sort of focused in frequencies of, for example, in the situation, if the situation calls for peace, then I align to peace. Like I'm always in the base element of creation, I'm creating in peace, or I'm creating in love. Do you sort of get it? And we're able to add on top of that the ones that we want, and then all other frequencies I don't need to. So if someone tries to project a frequency onto you, i.e. negativity, or anger or anything like that, like you just let it bounce off you, because your frequency doesn't resonate with that, even if they're broadcasting a very strong frequency. So it's like this idea of like, even if someone is yelling in you and screaming in your face, like remain calm. Do you sort of get it? Like falling into yelling and screaming is not the path to calming the situation. The only way to calm the situation is to remain calm. Do you sort of get it? So it's sort of like this idea in life, in all that I do, in the actions. So if I wanted to, for example, diet, how do I align to the frequency of dieting, of what because you wouldn't do it as diet, you would do it as health. So it would be the frequency of health that I want to feel. And then what you're doing is you're aligning your actions, your behaviors, your decisions, your beliefs, all of that until those naturally allow and resonate those frequencies within yourself. So it's very important to understand this because when we start to understand this, we start to see the aspect of it that the more I invest into consciously becoming aware of all the different frequencies that I embody in every moment and that I can choose to embody. And it's only through my choice to embody them that they exist. So, for example, like if I have, say, negative thoughts or anger or something like that, if I don't act on that anger, it doesn't manifest. Do you sort of get it? So it's like if I refuse to, it's just a state of potential energy. Do you know what I mean? So most people become angry and aggressive because they lose control of that state of potential of energy. So it's like in all situations, I should always like seek to remain in control of the energetic flow or state of energy within the moment that I am generating and transmitting and broadcasting. So when we understand this, we start to understand that it is only through my association to what is easy and what is difficult that creates separation or sort of like a challenge in being able to manage and control it. So it's all an illusion of perception. If I perceive I have the strength to remain calm in any situation, I can remain calm in every situation. If I perceive that I have, the ability to, you know, like forgive in all situations, to love in all situations, like it's very important because there are always two paths we can take with this kind of understanding and knowledge. There is the lighter path where I use it for creation, and then there is the darker path where I use it for destruction. So we understand that if I choose the lighter path and I want only creation within my life, then I create at the expense of destruction because destruction is not necessary until I cease to want to create anymore. So until I like, if I decide, for example, if we take it on a friendship, like we're friends and there's sort of an agreement between two people that I'm going to be pleasant and kind to you, you're going to be pleasant and kind to me. If you start being unpleasant and kind to me, it doesn't mean I don't have to be unpleasant or unkind to you. But if you're being unpleasant and unkind to me, at a certain point in time, the only way out is through. So I have to be unpleasant and kind to you and disconnect. Do you sort of get it? So it's not that anything negative has happened, but it's just should I allow myself to sit in negative situations, I deteriorate. Uh, I deteriorate the potential of the flow of the energy in my life because I'm stagnating. I'm not moving with it. Do you sort of get it? Like it's an expansive thing that, like, for example, every day is an opportunity to live your best day, to be your best self, to do whatever you want to do. Do you sort of get it? Like every day has potential. It's what we do with that potential. Do we cage that potential and lock it down, or do we allow it to move freely in a state of creation? So we start to understand there when we're talking about all these different layers, we are talking about physical energetic flow as well. So the energy I feel within myself in terms of my ability to move, my ability to create momentum, my ability to create change, like the energy, my life force, my energy. So we realize that there are different ways in which we can sort of like manage and control and repair and use our like energetic state. So it's like a lot of people think in terms of energy and they think in terms of just food. That becomes a struggle when you're out in the wilderness and there is no food. So you have to like replenish your energy in a different way. Do you sort of get it? So it's like there are many different ways, and one of them is to align to the energetic frequency of the activity that I am doing. Do you sort of get it? So think about it like this. Say I'm a fisherman and I'm fishing. I can fish and try and control the environment and try and say, I know where the fish are. Or I can fish and I can just sit and be and let it be. Do you sort of get it? And observe and just be in the moment, in the energy. Do you sort of get it? I can create in the flow because once I start to get in the flow, I'll just start to sort of get feelings of maybe I should put it out there. Maybe I should put it over there. Maybe I should do this. Do you sort of get it? And I'm flowing with it. I'm not trying to dictate and control it. It's the same in conversations. It's the same in relationships. It's the same in everything. Do you sort of get it? So we can apply this across the board that state of zen, that state of bliss, that state of connection to the moment. That is what we are trying to align with when we say we're trying to align like our frequency is trying to align to that flow, but that flow is a flow state that's only found within the energetic form. So flow states are only found in the energetic form, meaning they're only found within emotions. So I got to get into that emotionally bliss state to align to it. Do you sort of get it? So like we're able to do different things, like I can clear my energy, I can center myself. Do you know what I mean? Like if I become aware of this, that it's that emotionally bliss, energetic flow state that we're trying to access, all actions external to the activity, the conversation, the message, whatever I'm doing, are about monitoring and sort of maintaining that emotional bliss. So it's sort of like this in love. It's sort of like if you go off of what Hollywood and romantic comedies and all of that say, it's sort of like the more energy I invest into trying to manifest and trying to find love, and like especially in a relationship, if it has toxic or negative things, it's like the more I invest into that, the better the outcome's going to be. So we get trapped in this cycle of a loop of an illusion where in the ideal circumstances, that is true. In like the less ideal circumstances, that's where we get the highly toxic and manipulative relationships. So we just start to see that it's not about the perception or trying to control it. It's about trying to connect, especially in love, it's trying to connect to the energetic frequency of the other person and sort of gaining an understanding through how they talk, how they come to make decisions, how they act, how they behave, their emotional state of being, how they express and feel emotions, how they deal with complex problems. Like It's all these different things that are different energy, like they alter and shape your energetic frequency because they all add to it. Do you sort of get it? But just to the same, the negative aspects of me also add to it. So they add disharmony or like, when there's two frequencies that are at different, um, they're at different resonant frequencies, and basically what they do is they clear out or they null and void the other one because they're an identical match. So we understand this that if I am in too much in the light and too much in the negative, like the negative will cancel out the light. So, and we understand light when we're talking about light as being the positive emotions or emotional states that I want to feel light, bliss, good, whatever like, however you want to put it. But it's like if I let go to them, the negative, okay? So if I find out there are negative aspects of me, okay, I let go to them. It doesn't mean they don't exist. It just means I've chosen the light. So, like, I don't need to hold on to the negative. Do you sort of get it? Like, because the negative will counteract it. So, like, for example, if I'm trying to do something and what I'm doing causes me to feel insecure, and I'm trying to create self-belief and go for what I want, like to the level of insecurity that I create within myself or allow to exist within myself will have a multiplier of a negative detractor from my potential that I can create from. So most people self-limit themselves by allowing to or entertaining negative thoughts. You know what I mean? And this is the realization that I had is that it's sort of like if I let go to it, then I need to pick up and embrace. So it's sort of like I haven't let go to the negative and now there's just empty space. If I let go to the negative, I have to embrace the positive. Do you sort of get it? So like for example, if I let go to my aggression, for example, I can pick up my passion. If I let go, you know, to my chaos, I can pick up my peace. Like it's this idea of I cannot change or alter my resonant like frequency until I let go of the emotions from the past and pick up the emotions of now. Because the emotions of now are the alignment to the frequency. They're the way in which we can align to the frequency because they're the ways in which we can alter and change and shape our frequency. Do you sort of get it? So I can hold on to all that has hurt me, all that is negative, all that makes me feel less than, or like whatever it may be. So, for example, it could be fears and doubts in love. So, like for me to sort of find love and be open to love, like I have to let go to them because while I may want love in my conscious mind, my resonant frequency is fear based. And the problem with that is people can identify that energetically. And then if they're predatory in nature, they will prey if they're, not good people. And basically, because they understand like your frequency that you're broadcasting, because you believe that you're broadcasting this like confident frequency, but your energetic or emotional frequency is very unconfident. So what happens is you perceive yourself to be this person, but you never feel like it. And that's because you haven't realigned your sort of energetic frequency. And the only way to do that is to let go to it. For example, if someone slapped me 10 years ago, it doesn't matter. Do you sort of get it? I can hold on to it, but I can never have new while I hold on to it, because while I hold on to it, it's me trying to hold on to too many different frequencies. They only just create chaos and they counteract each other. If I have self-doubt, it doesn't matter how much self-belief I have. Do you sort of get it? I'll never be able to do anything. So I have to let go to self-doubt to pick up self-belief. If I have self-worth issues, like I have to let go of them to find self-value. For while I hold them, there no value can exist. For I have no value. Do you sort of get it? So we're using the like psychological structure because we've already developed that, evidently. Because it's sort of like this: if I feel like a good person, but my thoughts are like chaotic and they're negative, then that's a disalignment to where my mental or my psychological space is sort of misaligned with who I am. So it's like if I always feel like I'm more, but my head's full of fear, like there's a misalignment because evidently I'm focusing on the fear and I haven't aligned it to realize that the fear doesn't exist. So, for example, if I fear my emotions, it's because I've never embraced my emotion. Because once I embrace my emotions, I realize there is nothing to fear. Once I embrace my thoughts and the chaos in my mind, I realize there is nothing to fear. Do you sort of get it? So we start to realize the only way out is through because it is an illusion. Do you sort of get it? So when I understand this, the illusion is that if I hold on to self-doubt, I can create more self-belief. Do you sort of get it? But I can't because I can never truly align with self-belief because I'm still holding on to self-doubt. So if we think about this in love, if I'm still holding on to fear or fear of something happening, like I've got to find ways in which I can create structures and frameworks that allow me to let go to the fear and pick up for example, the love. So it's like what could I do as a framework? So a framework is just, and the easiest way to think about it and the easiest way to do it, like it's just basically one sentence: new actions moving forward. I don't think what could go wrong. I think what would my actions be moving forward if that happened? I'm in a state of creation should problems come up, rather than being in a state of destruction, that the problems are destructive in my life. Do you sort of get it? So we're trying to create this alignment, sort of like who knows how deep it goes. I think the yogics say there's like 13 energetic forms or something like that. But who knows? But basically, I'll simplify it for you. We have the psychological, the emotional or energetic, and then we have the spiritual. So my ability to, through quantum mechanics, associate or connect my thought to physical matter. So when we start to understand this is what we're trying to create, like co-alignment between. If I'm aligned psychologically, if I'm aligned emotionally, do you sort of get it? If I'm aligned spiritually, do you sort of get it? Now I am sort of like the highest potential of me, but it's I have to embody it. Do you sort of get it? So I have to embody the psychological aspect that should I have like this belief that self-doubt doesn't exist because I am aligned to self-belief, like I have to enforce that should ideas of doubt come, like I create the belief within them. I don't suppress them. I manifest or transmute them into what I need them to be. Do you sort of get it? Should I feel self-doubt that maybe I can't do this? Well, then it's like, what if I can do this? How would I do it? What would I do? Do you sort of get it? So we're taking it and we're not trying to suppress the energy and never feel negative. It's if negative happens, how do I transmute it and then I use it. How do I use it? And this allows us to now move through in a creative manner through the energetic flow of life. For I am not seeing resistance in life, for there is no resistance in life. I am the only resistance in my life, for should I hold on to what has passed, I create negative attachment. Do you sort of get it? Because if if what I hold on from in the past, now it's not to say that it's negative to hold on from the past. Like I can have memories from childhood that I really enjoy that I hold on to. It's not negative. But should I hold on to something that is sort of like a marker of self-identity? So like a relationship when I was a teenager. So, for example, should I hold on to that? That can shape and structure my reality, but it can do it in a self-limiting or negative way to where in which I don't want change. So I become the limiting factor in my life that starts limiting any potential for change. So it's very important that we let go to what has been and we pick up what can be. Do you sort of get it? So, like, for example, should we take that same example? And I had an amazing, spectacular relationship when I was a teenager. Do you know what I mean? Not saying I did, but, if I did, then it's sort of like it's about understanding, like, the feelings, the flow, the energy. Like, that is what we're focusing on. And it's like if I have already experienced them, now I create them within my life. So I use it as power to move through my life. I don't try to sit there and recreate it. Do you know what I mean? Because the energy sort of, so to speak, stays the same, but the situation or the environment changes. So in life, have you ever noticed this, that not so much to say that people are all the same because everyone's uniquely like individual, but it's like there are certain trends and patterns or flows of how people are. Do you sort of get it? Like people naturally have certain tendencies and flows, and we would call them like cultural norms. Do you know what I mean? So, for example, if I'm in a city, it might be if I'm walking through the business district, people might say hello to me. They might not. Do you know what I mean? Like it sort of depends on the region and the culture. But like for example, if I'm out in the country and I'm walking down the business district of a small rural town, like people will say hello to me at a higher rate because it's a cultural difference. Do you sort of get it? So we start to see that should I want to embody or should I want to align to or attach to the frequency of friendliness, then I must embody that with all of my actions and behaviors by saying hello to people, not waiting for them to say hello to me. Do you sort of get it? Like I embody the frequency. Should I want to feel pleasant in life? I'd be pleasant in life. I'd be pleasant to people in life. It doesn't mean I'd be pleasant at the detriment of me. It's that should someone not, reciprocate, not respect, whatever it may be, like I disconnect. I can disconnect quietly. I can disconnect loudly. Do you know what I mean? Like if someone sows chaos into your life, you can disconnect in chaos and allow them to just revel in it if they want. But it's sort of like this idea that in everything that I do, like what is the frequency of what I am doing? So if I'm doing something, am I doing something for love? Am I doing something for joy? Am I doing something for passion? Am I like, what is it? Because it's that is what I'm seeking. Do you sort of get it? Like, I'm not doing it for anything else. So, what am I doing something for? And then that's the energy, that emotion, that feeling. That's the energy. So, if it's joy, what I'm doing is I'm doing everything for joy. So joy is the emotion that I feel. And I allow myself to feel it in every moment and I embody it because it is the frequency. So if I want joy, I let go to anger. for anger cannot exist in joy. Do you sort of get it? Like, I have to let go because while joy and anger exist within every moment, should I choose anger, I am foregoing the choice of joy. Should I choose joy, I am foregoing the choice of anger. While they exist in the same moment, my choice or my decision on path or what I enact creates reality. Do you sort of get it? So there's always potential in every moment that the moment can go in a multitude of different ways. And it's like the frequency that I want or the way in which I want it to go is the frequency that I'm trying to, create. And I'll always understand why I'm trying to do that. And once I understand why I'm trying to do that, I have my marker on what actions to take because I just take the actions, I speak the words, I do the things that feel in alignment with that. So, should I take joy? All my actions have joy in them. I take actions that make me joyful. I enjoy the actions that I take. Do you sort of get it? So we start to see the structuring because the more I can align and the closer I align to the frequency of what I want, multiplies the effectiveness of the output of the actions that I do. So it's a very important thing. Should I speak to someone from love and I want them to feel love? If I speak with loving tones, if I speak with loving words, if I speak with loving intentions, then what happens is they feel love or loved at a deeper level. Do you sort of get it? So like I'm adding layers. So I'm not just speaking love and not caring how or when or why or this or that. Like, so we're adding all these different layers because the different layers amplify and strengthen the frequency of the love I feel. Do you sort of get it? Like when I add different levels to the love I feel, then I'm able to feel that love deeper. But I have to be the one to put those levels in. Do you sort of get it? So, like, I have to let go to the need, so to speak, for other. And it's sort of like for me to find love with other people or fall in love with other people, I must first fall in love with myself. Because it's only through falling in love with myself that I understand and comprehend the feeling of love. Do you sort of get it? And it's a funny thing like this, but basically if you want to experience it, think back to childhood. Because for the majority of people, childhood and childhood memories were memories where you loved what you loved without care. You liked it because you liked it. You loved it because you loved it. Do you sort of get it without need to justify it to others? So we start to see the purity in that. And if you look back, you'll start to see aspects of yourself that you wanted. Do you know what I mean? Who you wanted to be when you were a child, who you want, like what you wanted to do, this and that. And it doesn't mean that it'll be bang on right, but it just means it'll show you a time before conditioning altered like your energetic flow. Because you think about it, as a child, you are free, you are explorative, you're a student, like you are moving through life with wonder and awe at everything that life has to behold. So it's sort of like that's what most people honestly seek in life is to be able to live life like that and experience life like that. Do you sort of get it? So, like, should I settle and hold on to the need for fear that what if this doesn't, what if that doesn't? I can never align to it properly. So, I have to let go to it. I have to let go to everything that isn't the emotional state that or frequency that I am trying to resonate at. Do you sort of get it? In every moment, I can change and alter it. So if I want to resonate with something now, I resonate with it. If I want to resonate with something else later, I resonate with it. So think about it like in my work. if I'm doing my work, but then there's an element of energy in the work. So I'm connecting to the energetic flow of my work while I'm doing it. It adds a different layer or a layer of depth. Do you sort of get it? And it's through the emotion. So how do I want to feel when I'm doing my work? How do I want to feel, you know, when I'm, giving time to something I'm passionate about, like whatever it may be, when I'm providing, like however it may be. For example, it's sort of like this. There, there are many different ways and depths to understand like meaning within people. So it's like, for example, some people can do the most mundane tasks and they are the most meaningful tasks because of the associated meaning behind them. So you think about it like, for example, like when you have a family, it's sort of like you're willing to sacrifice certain aspects or certain avenues in life because the meaning isn't in the exploration. Do you know what I mean? So it's sort of like when you have a family, the meaning goes from being exploration to providing. Do you sort of get it? So it's sort of like in exploration, freedom and autonomy and independence is important, but in like child rearing and like family, it's sort of like stability, security, consistency, like create the best and most stable environments for the upbringing of children. So we start to see, like, even in my day-to-day life, there can be many different frequencies or energetic frequencies that I'm moving through in life. But there are also flows and stages of life. So, like, should I be in a certain flow of life or stage of life? Like, for me to want external to that energetic flow creates like imbalance or disharmony, i.e., if I'm child rearing, like living a highly volatile life, yeah, egocentrically, it might make me feel good, because I'm living the life, but it creates and sows havoc for the children. Do you sort of get it? So it's sort of like at a certain point in time, it's not that you sacrifice the life, but it's like for you to create, like if you want to think it like this, for you to create the highest timeline for those children, what you want to do is you want to create the highest level of stability and sort of controlled exposure to change, variable risk volatility. Do you know what I mean? Children should understand anger exists, but they shouldn't be exposed to like emotional instability, people losing their temper and losing their ability to control themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like they should understand, like if you do negative things to other people might do negative things to you because otherwise we create sort of generations where children become more antisocial because the antisocial behaviors aren't corrected in the early stages of development. So it's just in understanding this, we're trying to align to the frequencies. And when I can align to the frequency, then I can flow through and move through it at my full potential. Do you sort of get it? Because the more I'm aligned, for example, if I'm aligned to the energetic flow of child rearing, and it's sort of like this, think of it like the natural flow of it. Do you know what I mean? Like you've got to be pretty resistant in child rearing to sort of go against the natural flow or the natural sort of like, I guess you could call them behavioral compulsions. So, like for example, like how women or the skin transfers, or when you have a baby, basically, when the baby's first born, when the baby touches the mother's skin, and they do skin to skin contact, The mother gets a massive, I don't know if it's endorphin or um, oxytocin rush, and it creates a very, very strong emotional bond, like a to death emotional bond. Do you sort of get it? So it's in understanding these, that there are natural flows and tendencies to how we should not so much interact and behave, but how we should sort of aspire to be as a person. Do you sort of get it? Like we can go around and justify war and killing and all of this and say, it's right, it's protection, this, that, and the other. But at a certain point in time, talk to most soldiers. Most soldiers don't really think the killing that they did, while they see it as being necessary, they don't really see it as being, so to speak, valuable. Like it wouldn't be something that they would choose to create into this life, that level of chaos and destruction. So it's sort of like we have natural flows and tendencies that we are moving through in our sort of, if you want to think about it like a conscious blueprint. So it's not my physical body, it's not my brain, it's not my thoughts, but it's this blueprint of consciousness. Should I be an ant? My blueprint of consciousness is to that ant. I am not an ant pondering Plato, pondering who is man? What is man? How does man go? You know what I mean? So it's sort of like we understand it as, if I am this form as a human, then there is a certain level or conscious blueprint that, like, I naturally am guided to follow. And you could argue that it is based and rooted within society, within social interactions, cultural. Do you know what I mean? So it's like our natural cultural tendencies, our natural societal tendencies. Now, there's a lot of negative in this world. So evidently, we're not the best at creating, in terms of not creating with destruction, but it's sort of like in life, all right, I am guided by what I believe to be as moral through my exposure to people taking moral actions, people taking immoral actions, to, all these different things. It's the contrast between that allows me to create what I believe. So I have to see both sides, i.e., the light and the dark, yin and yang. For example, if I am a masculine person, I must understand the feminine to have a balanced perspective. If I am a feminine person, I must have a masculine sort of like understanding or conceptualization to really create wise decisions. Because if I'm too far in either one, then it creates a blindness. Do you sort of get it? So there has to exist destruction for creation to exist. If I want creation to exist, it is the choice of creation over destruction. Destruction doesn't have to exist in every moment. It exists in every moment, but should I choose not to act on it, it ceases to be. Do you sort of get it? So no matter what I think or feel in any moment, should it not be what I want it to be, I let go to it. Do you sort of get it? For example, we could take one, should I wake up and I'm in a relationship that I don't want, living a life that I don't want, that I was just sort of, trying to find fulfillment in what other people believed was fulfilling. Like if I wake up in that, it's sort of like nothing negative has happened. Do you sort of get it? Like I haven't lived a negative life. I'm not a negative person. And you like forgiveness has, like, if it's a scale, it has no end. Do you sort of get it? Just like evil, if it exists, is a scale and has no end. So it's like for the evilest acts, forgiveness can be found. Do you sort of get it? But like forgiveness should not always be for all acts. So if someone chooses to, go around and kill and murder people, it's sort of like at a certain point in time, yes, you can forgive people for the worst atrocities, but it's sort of like if they're going to continue to create harm and atrocities, then it is not right to forgive them. It is only right to forgive them if they truly and genuinely believe it. So it's like this idea in everything. For me to let go to fear, I have to forgive all that have caused fear within me. And the number one person who causes fear within me is me. So I have to forgive myself for all the destruction I've sown in my life before I can let go to the destruction and rebuild. Do you sort of get it? So like that is sort of like the mental aspect where I rebuild my identity of self, where I rebuild, my thoughts, my narratives, my emotional states. And now it's like we're looking at really tapping into the frequencies. So the different frequencies of what I want to feel in everything. So it's sort of like this. If you've ever been in love and you've been texting, like you feel the emotions of what you read and what you speak, like you feel it. Do you sort of get it? That's what we're talking about when we're saying aligning with the frequency and embodying the frequency. Is if I feel that love, I should let myself be in love. Do you know what I mean? If I feel joy, I should let myself be in joy. If I feel success, I should let myself be in success. Do you sort of get it? So, like, I have to let go to what is not the frequency that I want. So, should I want success in life, I let go to all of the fear of failure and all of that is not success. And now I'm able to hold success in my hand, for I am aligned to the frequency of success. Do you sort of get it? All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.